Previously on Quasimorph, we made the very sensible move of releasing more Quasimorphs to deal with the already existing Quasimorphs. While they prepare their troops for system-wide conquest, we've got another story mission offered by Unchained Belt, Ship of Ghouls. A level so infamously packed with enemies, I've seen multiple people wonder if they spawn endlessly. Besides showcasing more solar system success and failure, I'm hoping this video will provide a good look at what you can expect and how I prefer to handle it. First off, I pick Percy. This is my go-to merc, and is especially important if you lack armor with shock resist. And even if you do, more of it is always a good thing for this mission. Second off, implants and augments. With enough grinding, you're likely to get a lot of robot limbs from fighting, and each one favors different playstyles, but the ones I pick out are the military leg, servo, cyborg's head, frame, military controller, and the military manipulator. This provides a whole slew of boosts. More accuracy, less weight, less pain and quasimorphosis, more accuracy and crit chance, and, in particular, the military manipulator causes an extra shot to be fired from all ranged weapons. And before you ask, extra accuracy does help increase crit chance. About 1 point of crit chance for every 2 points of over 95% accuracy. Of course, these all come with their own costs. No stealth mode, smaller field of view, much less shock resist, and a bigger chance to get wounded. If I didn't already have the correct upgrade for the Augmentics department, I'd also be losing some of my max HP. And also, instead of rags and bandages, these robot parts are instead fixed up with pieces of rubber, metal, and electronics, although medkits will still heal all body parts. So, we've got some different problems to anticipate, but I'm sure you would also saw off your hand for a military one if it meant a double tap with every trigger pull. I've got a hazmat helmet and suit, upgraded to protect against physical damage as well as elemental, alongside People's Front boots, veteran unloading vest, and buffalo backpack. Our weapon will be an upgraded Enigma M2 and an Enlightenment Mark II, both powerful and effective at longer distances. Also, have a convenience store of ciggies and alcohol. You'll see once we get there. While preparing, we get a message from Shirmara. Tezcatlan has in fact been in our world for thousands of years, but this means he's actually become too attached to it to return to Ganix like other Quasis. To avoid death, he's created 3 Nakals that are on Venus, Nana Watson in Lohi City, Tonatiuh on MZ Fresco platforms, and Torpilzin at Koltho Node. Once all 3 are dead, Itzpapalotl can reach Tezcatlan's heart. But that's not for now. We've already got something more important to take care of. After traveling through the Brahmfuturas to— yeah, not now, asshole. Reach Vesta, I load up my shuttle with more drugs and send Percy in. As we fly in, Jane detects a Dilthy vessel nearby that might spot and warn Corwood of the nearby Unchained Belt refueling vessel. But never mind that. The first order of business is to destroy the security system in the Woodpecker's armory level. Like most missions, maps here are proc-gen, and here I head out to clear the eastern section. You'll see me make an error here, entering the room with my last action point. Enemies detect and attack you on their turn, so they could have greeted me with a hail of bullets. This time they just run around gormlessly as I shoot them with a railgun. My upgraded armor gives me 67 fire resist, so the flamethrowers don't do too much. And that's one of many Quasimorphs we might run into on this mission. Amogus, I think. It dies to the railgun pretty easily, but it's immune to shock. Keep that in mind. I also find these 3 turrets stuck in another room, but beyond that, there's not much resistance. Next up is the armory. Despite the concrete barriers and turret waiting for us, this level also features many long corridors that heavily favor my railgun. So, after painting them with blood and blasting their server farm, I head into the engine level and find the item chips for the seismic generator implant and the bishop sniper rifle. Were this a normal mission, I could dip out early, causing the mission to fail but leaving with all of my loot. But we can't do that with quests, so I just call the capsule and shove my things inside. It's here that I begin to make use of the various deployables I've picked up, like the Sheila classes. Don't worry, unlike the giant worm, these enemies are somewhat frail, so the plasma weapons I give them should still be effective. Plus, the actual armor I'm giving ensures that they can at least distract the enemy for a bit longer. If it isn't already obvious, the sheer volume of enemies is why I opted to take both the cyborg's head and half a convenience store of alcohol and smokes. More enemies means more Quasimorphosis, and while that does mean infighting, it also means barren visits, something I do not want to have to deal with on top of everything else. Anyway, we're entering the engine room now, so at least I get some Unchained Belt pirates to back us up as the woodpecker is refueled. As we battle more Coreward staff, we get a message. Coreward has just sold the woodpecker to Dilthy, and they're sending security to get rid of us. But that doesn't matter to Unchained Belt. We've still got a contract, so we still need to complete it. Naturally, I wander the engine room, checking for valuables as the Unchained Belt reinforcements fight and die to Dilthy's troops. Then some of those Dilthy troops walk into the engine room, and I decide to delegate things to my robot minions. They do not too bad, I guess. And that's when I see it. The reason I emphasize shock resist. Those tentacles can and will end you with one burst, but it won't be instant. You'll see that in a bit. For now, we've got to head to the command floor. It's here that I finally give Shiomara's pact a try. It's not half bad. By now though, the Quasimorphosis has really gotten out of hand, enough that many enemies are dying from fighting those Quasimorphs. Naturally, I chain smoke in an attempt to clear this all up. Hey, remember how I warned about the one-shot tentacles? Here's a demonstration of their danger. Shock is one of the most malign damage types in enemy hands, because the status it inflicts removes an action when it climbs high enough. Combine this with pain also removing an action, not to mention the extreme damage variance of shock weapons, and I genuinely don't know how that didn't kill me. Not that it matters. It's here, with floors covered in gore and probably exposed to vacuum, that I decide to let my guard down a little. I know the guys who own this fucking thing, and let me tell you, when the time comes, I'm gonna... Okay, so turrets and robot allies, definitely something I should use. Overuse of alcohol? Probably not. At least not to the point where I can't aim my weapons. But we did learn some things for sure from this. The enemies here will be packing a mix of physical, plasma, beam, and shock weapons. The Quasimorphs sometimes drop powerful healing items, and the sheer volume of them means lowering our guard is a bad idea. We use this highly valuable tactical intel to get our asses kicked before we even reach the signal jammer the next time. This was from a sillier mistake too, pushing forward despite still being wounded. Thankfully, like a prosthetics department store, we're not running out of limbs anytime soon. Third try. This time I advance north, picking up a flamer for a bit before realizing how much fire resist Coreward has. So I instead stick to using a normal gun one of them dropped. It works surprisingly well, no doubt because I increased Percy's firing accuracy. For the armory level, this time I set up my robot buddies. All seems okay until... oh, that's a lot of fire. Oh, that's a lot of enemies. Looks like a chance to use the Echo Strike again. Turns out these packs are really rather powerful. Then I nip off to destroy the jammer again. I call the capsule here to drop off some loot I picked up, including a chip for a field emitter implant, then I head to the engine room. The engine room immediately opens up into a kind of funnel, and it's here that I set up the second edition of the robot army. I also give the discharger plasma shotgun a try. It's okay, especially since my military manipulator lets me benefit from overclocking with every shot. And like before, the pirates reinforce me to help protect the engine. This time, however, I muck in, only performing a little bit of friendly fire and fighting. Finally, it's time to hit the command floor. Looks like a small map, and I'm even able to slap a turret in this doorway without encountering many foes. But the sheer amount of return fire breaks the wall, and then the swarms come out. Thankfully, I've got allies with me, allies that get stuck in a funnel and killed. I retreat to the elevator room's doorway and plink a few more foes away, but they're relentless, even forcing me to use the elevator pillar as cover. But despite a few close calls, I'm eventually able to push back into the corridors leading up to the ship, with a robot friend in tow. When the enemy sets up a military mech, I get ready to see mechanical slaughter, which I do. Okay, that was pretty awesome. Yeah, shield classes with their rubberized parts might be kind of frail, but they're really dangerous in melee. Then I enter north to find a bunch of bodies I definitely didn't create and a friendly turret. A bit confused, I enter the bridge, where Jane tells us to kill anyone who might stop us from redirecting the spacecraft. Much like the river crossing infrastructure, this bridge represents a choke point that will be invaluable for its ability to funnel enemies into a single tile that I judiciously hose with bullets. Or it would be if I didn't get bored and head towards the trouble. And then eventually I decide to unleash my ultimate Quasimorph clearing move, drinking until all your problems disappear. And it seems to work, besides this last Hulk. And with its messy death, the HIS Woodpecker is cleared to head to Interamnia. After a few more minutes picking valuables from the bodies, I get out of Dodge. And that's how I completed Ship of Ghouls with only 2 deaths. Then Jane tells us about how the public saw this little altercation. Corward? Pissed. Dilthy? Also pissed. And Unchained Belt? They made it look like fucking up the Woodpecker was solely our idea, and they were just cleaning up after us. So was this worth it? Economically, a little. Emotionally, hell yes. And diplomatically, who gives a fuck? An important thing to remember is that we've already got control of Planet Bridge, meaning words like corporate ethics and market balance have lost what little meaning they had. Shimara will have to wait a bit longer. There's no money or fun in saving the system as its pawn. By the time we're finished, even the Hexarchs will be sleeping in tents and drinking amphetamine-laced wastewater hooch to erase all memory of what the fuck we're gonna do to them. And I've got a perfect idea to kick off our rampage. Or I would if not for, well, that.